Morning, Joe here from I Wonder UK, day 40 of the Southwest Coast Bus Challenge. Last night I was aiming for Salcombe. I had a spot marked out and I dropped over the top of Bolt Head, came down into this little valley, and the rain clouds had stopped for a minute, so I thought I'd take the opportunity to dry the tent out. There was a little bit of wind and some sun, so I dried the tent out, put it up, and then after about 10-20 minutes, to be honest with you, I just thought, no, I'm just going to stay here. Can't be bothered to go any further, and it's only about another mile maybe from where I was going to go. I met a couple of girls last night and they said that would have been an ideal place to go, and they would recommend moving down there because the wind comes down the valley down here, but it was all right last night. There's a frost this morning that's starting to thaw out now, but the sun hasn't come round. I'll show you a little bit in a minute. Like I say, I've got a couple of miles to get to Salcombe, about 2.5 miles maybe to Salcombe. Get down there. I think what I'm going to do is go down and get some breakfast and then catch the ferry, and I want to try and get as far as Torcross today, so we'll see how it's going. At the moment it's fairly clear, blue skies, but I just felt a drop little rain or two, which is a bit odd. Like I say, I'll show you a quick bit where I was last night. There's Bolt Head where the sun's just catching it, the other side of Bolt Head as you drop down. Come down here. I was pitched up here for the night, obviously. The green stating the obvious. And this one's Sharp Tor. And there's the headland on the other side of the estuary. I need to get out through here, drop down there and go around Sharp Tor. But yeah, it's only about 10 to 7 in the morning and it's cold, very cold. And yeah, I can feel it biting my fingers already. I might just get back in the tent for 20 minutes or so. But making a cup of tea, that should warm me up. Just jumped back inside the tent for a little while. It is cold out there, very cold. I think it must be the 9th of April today, I want to say. But we haven't had a frost for, I don't know, 5 or 6 days. But that's a cold one this morning. But the difference it makes, it really stands out. I got the 4-season inner on this Lannacombe one, and I'm glad I did, because it just makes sense to me. In the summer, I know it might let bugs and stuff, but I just leave it open, let it air out during the day if it gets too warm. I might even buy the 2/3 season one, the mesh one. But the difference is you can notice straight away when I wake up in the morning, one of the first things I do is open the inner up and have a look just underneath. I don't even open the door. Underneath, just to see if you can assess what's going on with the day. And as soon as I opened it this morning, you can feel the cold, and that's before you get outside the tent. That's just literally opening the inner, jumping back in here, and the difference being it's not just when the wind's blowing, the air's cold, you can actually notice the difference. Crazy. It's something to do with science, isn't it, the way they work, but a little tiny thin bit of material, it does work. Just a quick look of Stairhole, peeping around the sea, and then scooshing around to Bolt Head. And I was just dropped into that valley just round the corner. As you come around Prawle Point, there'll be my first mark of the day, right at screen now. That's Prawle Point, Prawle Point. I'm not sure how much I'll be able to see it, but it's definitely going to be a marker for the first part of the day. Then as you drop down the last few steps out of after Stairhole, you get your first glimpse of Salcombe. That's why I need to be walking down probably centre of the screen, maybe somewhere like that, to catch the ferry over. The path around the stair hole is a little bit rocky and you have to watch your feet, but it doesn't last for long and it drops down onto an easy-going footpath. And you get your first sighting of Salcombe. Then as you come down, again a nice footpath to South Sands, you hit the beach and then you have to start walking up the road. Cliff Road, I believe, which is, would you believe it? And it's uphill. After you drop down to South Sands, you go back up, drop back down to North Sands, and basically you walk along the road, Cliff Road, for 20-25 minutes. The unfortunate thing is you can't see anything because of the wall. It reminds me a bit of the approach to Foy. Eventually got onto the other side of the river from Salcombe. When you're doing these ferries, check and double check. I thought I knew where I was. Someone else advised me it was somewhere else. I actually asked in one of the local cafes and they pointed me to one of the jetties. It was wrong. It's the one by the ferry in for Salcombe. And I would have been there perhaps 15-20 minutes earlier. By the time I got there, it was a queue. So then I had to wait for another 10 or 15 minutes. I know they're only a few minutes, but they all tick by when you're standing around waiting with a rucksack on your back. Just to point to these ferries are, just double check them. From where the ferry lands, turn right off there basically. Follow a road for half a mile to a little sandy cove that's popular and busy already at 11 o'clock in the morning, called Mill Bay, and then you turn right from there. You're heading out to Gare Rock, G-A-R-E Rock, which is about 2 miles away now. I'm getting the views from Salcombe from this side now. Sunny Cove then. After a little while from leaving the ferry, maybe 20 minutes, we come up through like this woodland walk. There's a turning right that goes down to that sunny beach. You take a left and then just carry on. We're heading out to Gare Head, I want to say. I don't know why I want to say that, but I do. Gare Head, G-A-R-E. Gare Head. And you get like glimpses from the other side of where you walked through this morning. North and South Sands through the trees over there. It's a beach. Sorry, that sounded crap. After passing Sunny Cove, you'll see it down on the right hand side as you walk through the woodlands. You can see across the other side where you were walking first thing, or maybe the day before, depends how you're doing it. There's North Sands and there's South Sands. Back to Stair Hole before we leave it behind. A couple of hours ago this morning. Just probably one of the final look backs we have to Bolt Head on the left hand side, and then centre of the screen right now, Stair Hole, that rock formation. We literally walked across that this morning, across and round, and then down this little bit, all the way into Salcombe. About 40 minutes after the ferry, start quieting out. It is a Saturday, which I'd forgotten all about, but I don't know. I'm not very good in towns, and Salcombe's alright, I guess, but there's a lot of tourists there that I always seem to find worse, and I realise that's my, I don't know, intolerance, whatever. I find it much better when I'm out here. Like I say, there's a cove when you first leave the ferry, about a quarter of a mile, and then another one called Sunny Cove after half a mile. Then after that, it thins out. I have seen a family with 2 young daughters, which I was impressed with. So there's hope for them yet. Right,
you wouldn't believe it, it's not midday yet. This time yesterday I'd had my poncho on for 4.5 hours. I stopped because I need to take this wind cheater off because it's so lovely. It's just gorgeous today. There's a couple of white clouds in the sky, oh, as you can see behind me, and there's a few over that way as well, the way I'm heading, but nothing like yesterday. But yesterday was quite nice with the changing colour of the sky, so let's enjoy what today brings. Ahead we can see the headland. We got Lannacombe Point and Prawle Point just sticking out a little bit further. I'll try and zoom in so you can see better. Just with that other little rock there, that's Prawle Point, P-R-A-W-L-E. It's a significant marker for this morning's aim. Well, not the morning now, but quick view from Garra Rock. It's under a slight breeze today, which is lovely because I do like these walks. This path's perhaps a foot 15 inches wide. It just feels adventurous. Some of these bits of path may be a little too close to the edge. Path. Oh. Initially I thought that might have been Prawle Point, but I think it's Minehead. Prawle Point is tucked just behind that, but let's follow this path up here and follow the contour, then get some elevation back up, and I think we'll see it on the other side. Now that I would say is Prawle Point. We need to go down here somewhere. I'm sure cut back into here, cross that little bit there, cut back in, and then round, not over the top. Nice, round the side. That's the next lookout from Prawle Point. Just taking 5 in front of the lookout tower behind me at Prawle Point, apparently the most southerly point in Devon. So there you go, I'm at the most southerly point in Devon today, day 40. Looking out from Prawle Point to Lannacombe Point. I think there's a long one in the middle ground here. And hopefully that one at the distance there is Start Point, because that would be my next aim point. The track after Prawle Point is really easy going. I've been walking for 40 minutes and it's straight, slightly undulating, but almost level all the way, and it's an easy going track. And if you was interested, I could say 40 minutes from Prawle Point. Loads of little bits of grass. The edge of field in the middle of nowhere. If, for example, you got caught out and you had to wild camp. From Lannacombe Bay beach. The path gods have been good on us. It's just grass on mud track, pretty level. Now we're just trying to pick a way across there. I think it goes sort of down, up a bit, down, and hopefully round. But I'm going to go and find out. As you climb around the rock before Start Point, you do need to be just wary. It does get narrow, the passageway, and then it does get very rocky, but I think the unnerving thing is the pathway is sort of fairly wide, but that's the consequences if you go over this piece of grass. I'll give you a scale in my boot. Well, I reached Start Point. The Start Point, yeah, whatever. When you're approaching Start Point, you can see the lighthouse. As you get closer to it, take a look at the rocks along the edge. They're not so impressive from here, but from the other side, it looked like a dragon's back, like laying down, just the tip of the dragon's back. Tell me I'm imagining things. Get a great view from up here. I can see where I'm going from here. I'll show you now. It's a fantastic view, and the sea just looks like a lake from up here on Start Point. Come to the centre of the screen there now is Horseland, and then now Beesands. I'm not sure if you can see it. I'll try to zoom in a little. You can see the lake just on the other side. That's beginning the Torcross. Well, that's where I had labelled to camp, but I'm seeing that little hillock there, so I might go after the lake if I've got enough energy. I need to start sorting that out now, but the rest of that is for tomorrow. I've had one of these for a few days, but look at the colour of that water and how clear it is. I wasn't sure what to expect on the approach to Start Point. A couple of people was going, ooh, Start Point, ooh, end of the day. And I must admit, when I come from Lannacombe Beach, sorry, I filled some water because I seem to be really thirsty today. I drank a lot more than normal, at least a litre more than I normally do. And it's not just it's hot, I've had hot other days, but I started to get that afternoon fade, end of the day, and it is a late start. I mean, it's 5 o'clock now. Normally I know where I'm going to be home for the night by 5 o'clock. But got to the approach to Start Point. There's a few little bits where you go up and down rocks, but the reward at the end of it is staggering. I can't think of better words for it. The view from where I'm going tomorrow, I can see from here past Torcross all the way out past Dartmouth, and it's just, the sea looks like a massive lake. The view is amazing, and the walking is really not that bad. Does it slow you down a bit? Yeah, you need to watch where you put your feet. There's a couple of bits where you're at the edge. Yes, there is, but it's nothing to get apprehensive about. It's really that long. It's not relentless. It's just gaining that elevation at last thing. Well worth it. As you come off Start Point, you have to walk along a road with like a granite stone wall running next to it, which you can see over. Well, I can see over, so most people should be able to. And you just start descending. There's a few little bits of trees and stuff, but like a bit of a rocky path, but nothing serious. And it's got that it's not drastically downhill, but it just makes you walk a little bit faster downhill, if that makes sense, which is quite nice because the view is amazing. I'm going to stop so I'm not juddering you around. I know you probably can't see much on screen, but it really is amazing today. Like that, I'm going to say it again, that sea is like a lake, and and the sun going under. You can see the detail on the other side, but yeah, but you can't wait. Same story with Beesands from Horsehounds. You just literally come up the pastures over the hill and then drop back into Beesands. I don't think there's going to be much here, but have a little walk through.